Welcome one, welcome all to DeFi Crypto and Airdrops. I am Mike, aka Veteran Crypto, and this is Jeff, aka the Blockchain Report. How's it going, brother?
Going great, man. I was thankfully everything is cool with the apartment right next to me or the building because earlier I was recording and right in the middle of it you hear this fire alarm going off and it's loud. And I was like, "Oh shit." So the bunch of people came out from the building and they were looking around to see what was going on, and I guess it was the main office. There was a fire alarm that tripped and everything's okay. Nobody was on fire, so it was much to my relief. So good
Nice.
day, good day. It's hot outside though. It's a hot one today, but hope everyone else is staying cool out there, eating your ice cream,
Oh,
hanging out in this beautiful summer day.
it's beautiful up here. I've been outside all day mowing, just taking care of keeping this stuff down because as it start drying up, we get fire season. So yeah, I went out and mowed the island. I was gonna have a beer, but I kind of ran out of time. Had to get back here for the show. So but yeah, beautiful day. I got plenty of sun. But let's go ahead and jump right into this because we got a lot to talk about. So we're gonna start as always with the Yama. And just of course I got the DEX volumes and TVL pulled up. You can see that we're starting to increase through May, June, and we're about to start July. So we're trending sideways, which is good. Markets have been kind of trending down, but DeFi is just trending sideways. That's what we want to see. That's how we stay in range. A lot of volatility. That's when we lean on our full range positions and lending, staking, things like that. But when we're trending sideways, that's what here in DeFi. That's how we make our money. But let's go ahead and, as always, Pancake Swap, Uniswap, Radium, top three. And then you got Aerodrome coming in on sixth. Aerodrome is, I don't care what the price does, I am stacking Aerodrome. How's your bags looking?
No, I actually haven't been back in on Aerodrome since I got out in like the close to $2. Because I moved a lot of that into Plume and other airdrop stuff.
Mhm.
So I've just been heavy on Plume and KTA. Um, so
Gotcha, gotcha.
those two have been my focus right now. But no, I really like Aerodrome long term, like super bullish on it. Um, yeah, it's really integral to the base network and what they're trying to do with Coinbase and onboarding, a billion people, and it's just it has a lot of use case and utility. So definitely one you want to stay bullish on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of Plume, obviously, anybody that watches the show knows that we're bullish on Plume here. But in the RWA sector, in the past 30 days, we're up almost 5.5%, up to 24.38 billion. Total asset holders 220,939. Total asset issuers 196. But, and you can see, I mean, everything is on the upswing. Private credit leading the way, and then U.S. Treasury debt. U.S. Treasuries coming in, not a close second, but a good second. Now, top transfers. If you look, you'll see a trend here. Number one, and this is just smaller amounts, not larger amounts. Ethereum is going to dominate those. But seeing as Plume has only been out for a couple of weeks now, you got in alpha, which is Nest. It's one of the Nest vaults.
Hmm.
Number one spot, Plume. You got in alpha, in alpha, in alpha, in alpha, and in basis, all Plume. So like the majority of the top 10 in the lower bracket is all Plume. Plume is starting to heat up. I am not, again, I do not look at price. I look at fundamentals. Reason being is I can get, uh, I can stack, if I'm not paying attention to price and letting that affect me, when the price dips like Plume has, I can just keep stacking. So again, DeFi is how I stack free,
Hmm.
free assets. If I And that's how I stacked my bags. That's how I turned $800 into over $5,000 worth of plume. Did the same thing with did the same thing with big growth, 106%. It's just on not almost every metric, but pretty much every metric is plume is leading the way. Down here, all assets. You start scrolling down, and if you're not looking at baskets of networks in a lot of these assets, if it's just a single a single chain, you'll see here's that Nest ETF vault. Power. And if you haven't checked it out, check out the portal. I know we're always talking about plume, but there's always new people that are showing up, and I want to make sure that they are aware of what an opportunity, or what I feel an opportunity this is. So,
Mm-hmm.
so today we're going to be talking about space and time. It's what appears to be a really good project with really good backing, addressing a huge pain point in the DeFi AI markets, and as well as some other markets. And we'll dive into those details. But do you want to do our socials real quick?
Yeah. Share my screen. And oh yeah, we got a lot of good people in the Discord, man. I've seen quite a few from my Discord, my community jump over, so it's cool to see people getting in
Nice.
there. But yeah, we appreciate everyone for joining
Oh,
us.
there's your buddy. I'm
Oh
little AF.
yeah.
I remember her.
No, we appreciate you all joining us on this wonderful Saturday here at DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, where we go live Monday and Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And Vet goes live every Thursday with his brother, and who's a lawyer, and another Jeff, the TradFi Jeff, a financial expert. So they go live on Thursday afternoon or Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific. What was it? 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And every Thursday, and Vet goes live himself, does solo episodes a few times a week, doing deep dive portfolio tracking, updates, liquidity pool, hunting, all kinds of great alpha. And you can catch our brother channels. Oh,
You got to give them a
yeah.
shout out.
Yeah. Our brother channels right here: Discover Crypto, Blockchain Basement, BitLab, our DCA Consortium, and my channel, The Blockchain Report. And all of these guys cover news, current events, degen stuff, trading, technical analysis, and just an amazing community that we're building over here at the DCA Consortium as well. And yeah, just a lot of alpha we're trying to bring to you guys all for free. We do this because we love the space and we want to see each other grow. And if you want to, one good way, our Discord, let me pull this up.
Yes.
This is
Definitely join the
our
Discord.
more degen stuff, but we
Yeah.
got DeFi pools, protocols, DeFi tools, airdrop tips, and then the Discover Investment Group has
Well, and we
more.
got those free tracking sheets. So like for your DeFi portfolio and your ladder out strategy, we have for free. You can come in, download those. You can edit those. Make your own changes to them. But they're really really good tools to track your DeFi portfolio, your bull run bags, and your ladder out strategy.
Yeah, awesome tools, man. Vet is the man providing this, working hard to give you the alpha and to make sure that you're set up to be on the right track, because there's a lot of noise in this space that people can give you the wrong information or lead you down the wrong way, and we want to try and avoid that. And here in the Discover Investments Group, you get a little more access to people that discover crypto and hit network. And some of this is paid, but there is a free section that you can get into, just test the
Mhm.
waters. But all the links we provide down below. And also on Twitter, you can reach out to us, vet at veteran for crypto, me at the BCR142, and our DeFi crypto and airdrops, the underscore only underscore DCA. We will not DM you for financial advice or to invest any money for you. If anyone does, they are a scammer, and make sure that you have the right accounts, blue check, everything. Yeah, but we appreciate all of you, and let's get into some space and time.
Well, kick it over to me real quick. I'll cover
Yeah.
the a little bit of DeFi opportunities that I found, and then I'll kick it back to you and let's get into the technicals. How does that sound?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. All right. So,
Technicalities.
space and time. This is their official website, and then they have staking. So this is a legit way that you can earn free crypto if you believe in a project. I did it with Casper. I've been earning 16% on Casper for years now, and got a couple $1,000s worth of free Casper at current value, at current value. So if the price ends up going up and pumping, that couple of thousand might turn into a couple tens of thousands. So a really safe way that if you want to start building a bag of SXT is you can stake it, and currently they're paying out 8%. um the target annualized rate may vary with usage based block rewards subject to 10% validator commission. So definitely we want to learn about the kind of the fees and the tokenomics and the way that the staking that this staking works, but it is an opportunity. Now, over on Uniswap, and there might be some in other places. This is just one place that I found it, but SXT is the ticker, and this is space and time. It's sitting just below 7 cents right now. And if you go down here to pools, you can click on that, and there is a bunch of pools. Now, there isn't a whole lot of, I don't want to say there isn't a whole lot of interest right now, but as you know, in crypto, it's whenever there is a strong narrative or a big social media push, or a crypto project like this starts to pump, it draws a lot of attention. And with that attention, especially if it's not doesn't have listings on a lot of centralized exchanges, a lot of people will swap for it. So when that happens, if you have some liquidity in some of these, potentially they could pump. It happened with KTX. It happened with hold on, I always get that wrong. KTA. It happened with KTA. It happened with Plume. A lot of the assets that we got in early on, um, where we were earning huge amounts of fees off of those pools. And that's how I churned, $800 into, like over $5,000 of each of those assets, was because we front ran that. So that being said, if you're a little more on the upper end of the risk spectrum, if you want to buy $100 or a couple $100 of SXT like I did and drop it into a liquidity pool and see how it does, you might end up being pleasantly surprised. The last thing I'll cover is Grayscale. So Grayscale unveils a fund for SXT. It is not live yet. I checked, but they just announced it. But the native token of Space and Time blockchain, they are going to be rolling it out. Space and Time, which is backed by Microsoft venture capital arm M1, is a data warehouse to support decentralized applications that use artificial intelligence and smart contracts. The Space and Time Foundations say the network is built to solve the one critical need around which AI and blockchain are converging, verifiable data. So that's pretty much all I've been able to find as far as earning with SXT. But let's go ahead and Jeff, if you want to, take us, run down the technicals about what SXT is,
Yeah.
what pain points it's focusing on to address, and potentially the markets that it's going to move into.
Yeah, it actually just launched last month, the beginning of May. So it's brand new,
So
brand new. Where's the liquidity pools at? Because I might want to see
just on
with a
just on
price.
Uniswap.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, with the it's raised 50 million from Microsoft and what is it, Chainlink Ventures, and
Ooh.
who else was it? Chainlink Ventures, and I mean, it's got such heavy backing. And here's the problem that it's trying to solve is I was watching a video earlier today where they were explaining Aave. So we'll go to what's the Aave's? Well, Aave. Is it .com? I don't want to get the wrong one,
Yeah, it's
but
just
essentially Aave.com. Okay.
I believe
Yeah, I
so.
just sometimes it's IO, sometimes it's org, and I don't want to get a spammy
Yeah, it's
site.
Aave.com. I wasn't sure just because I usually just start typing it in and it auto populates.
So what Space and Time is doing is allowing developers and stuff to use these databases to basically find and verify data or query data. So you want to search for something on the blockchain. Let's say I deposited money into Aave to earn yield, and I want to take out a loan or borrow money. Well, in the future, Aave will not be able to determine whether I'm a returning user or a new user because they can't search for that information on the blockchain, or it's more difficult to look in the past. So past data, they have a hard time finding information for, and Space and Time will allow you to essentially find that information. So create a query and target it in your code. So it expands the whole decentralization aspect even further. Because when a blockchain starts, like any network, it's always centralized. Even the base network is centralized to some extent right now.
Well, so
And
space and time is somewhat similar to Chainlink being an oracle. Am I understanding this right?
yeah, yeah, completely decentralized. You know, nobody actually owns the network or database or infrastructure, so it allows that permissionless interaction. But what they're going to be integrating with Chainlink, and Chainlink will find the data from Web2 or whatever marketplace and bring it onto the blockchain. And this will help just kind of speed that up and allow faster interactions, more secure. Like they have these, we talked a lot about ZK proofs, which is important for security and on-chain app development, and especially with AI that they're incorporating as well. And DeFi and lending, you want the most up-to-date, accurate information and data, right? Your liquidity pools, especially if you're institutions, because right now we're thinking, oh, how is this going to affect us? Well, think of it on the institution level, where you have these big, heavy players moving around billions, if not trillions of dollars in seconds. So you need price data and feeds and information from all over to be almost instantaneous and permissionless and secure. because there is like the issue with bridges that we've talked about in the past where they've had the exploits. It's the time in between transactions and the smart contract executions, there can be a lag. So these hackers can exploit that time. So there's a whole lot of stuff on the back end that we really don't think about. And this is where building that infrastructure really matters. And seeing how they have that, 50 million backing from Microsoft Ventures and Chainlink and I forget what you brought up another one that was, but there's a bunch that are supporting this,
So,
and especially with
are
like
you
the
talking
web.
about investors?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, so like you said, there's Microsoft, the M12 fund. They did 20 million a strategic round in 2022. Framework Ventures, 10 million in the seed round. Samsung Next invested in 2022 seed round. Digital
Samsung,
Currency Group, or DCG.
DCG,
And then you got Hashkey, Foresight Ventures, 7X Ventures, Polygon, Avalanche, Stratos, um, Alliance, Lightspeed Fraction, and they have strategic partnerships with Chainlink, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon Web Services, Polygon, and Avalanche.
shit. Yeah, well, and you need that if you're gonna be integrating with all these blockchains, man. You want to have stuff built out. Um, let's see, yeah, and they one thing that will slow down development is trying to build it from the ground up. And I was watching that video I was talking about earlier with the founder. He was saying that they provide all this infrastructure for you that's decentralized at its core. So you can increase the time to full decentralization if you're building a DApp or whatever application using
Gotcha.
this stuff. Because yeah, you do have to start out, and I forget the website, but it shows these different metrics on like a 1 to 5 scale, and whether or not certain parts, like the validation, if it's fully decentralized, or uh, I don't know, different blockchain data verification stuff that will show what stage they're at compared to centralization versus decentralization. And there's not one blockchain that is fully decentralized. And I know we like to think that, oh, blockchain decentralization is the way to go, but right now we're still, kind of stuck in limbo where, and Solana's a good example. It goes down and has been shut down before. So that's kind of a concern, but stuff like this will help streamline that. And
Well, one
it is,
one thing that we should probably mention is how developer friendly it is. So, I'm of course
mhm,
using some copious notes here, but basically, it provides familiar SQL tools and APIs, lowering the barrier for Web 2 developers entering into Web 3. I know that that's been a huge uh, pain point as far as the scaling of dApps, Web 3 dApps is,
mhm.
people that are knowledgeable in how to build them out, with a lot of these new languages. So,
Yeah,
um,
SQL
you know,
is a very popular. They were
yes,
saying how it's the one of the most popular, and it's going to be the easiest way to onboard developers is by
absolutely.
using that. Yeah.
So this basically, I'll summarize what we're trying to say here, but and I'll make it simple. Is that this addresses an issue that a lot of other blockchains have had, where it takes a very specialized programmer to develop these dApps, which is a choke point for growth. So space and time might not have those issues and it might be able to grow faster than their competitors. And if that's the case, then they will potentially, not a guarantee, but they will potentially get a larger market share faster than their competitors.
Yeah, let's see. Oh
And
yeah, the dashboard, the portfolio tracker. So this is a perfect example of that because my brother, is not as familiar in developing in Web3 as he is Web2, using SQL databases and stuff. So something like this would be awesome if he could integrate, fetching the data, because he's having a hard time finding the data and getting the right data to the platform.
Mhm.
So if if this
that,
could
well,
be a
that,
way
that's
to
that's why I
query
sent
data,
this to him. As I was
yeah.
like, hey, I want to check this out because it might be a better fix because he's been trying to use the graph and and some other things, and it's just not working well. And
Mm-mm.
so that's why I started looking into this. Is Josh over on Discover Crypto? I was
Yeah.
actually in the Discord with him.
Shout out
You know,
Josh.
what's that?
It says shout out Josh. Give him a follow. He
Yeah,
brought the alpha on this one.
no, no. Well, he was doing a live stream, and him and Drew are always over there, and Kelly, where they'll go live in the Discord and they'll
Mm.
start and show people like, "Hey, I'm about to enter this position. This is where I'm, getting in. This is where I'm putting my stop loss. They show trades all the time." And somebody in the chat brought up SXT, and he looked at it, and while I was live with him, and we started talking about it. And so, it was talking about data and, DeFi and, stuff like that. And that little light bulb went on. And, so I sent this to your brother, and that got me,
Mm.
starting to look at it. And that's why, I got a hold of you, and I was like, hey, this might be a project that, we want to look at.
Oh yeah, this is
Because DeFi is
amazing.
going to be huge. And
Mm-hmm.
a huge part of DeFi is smart contracts and data. And if
Yep.
there isn't an efficient tool that is able to move data that is secure and verifiable, and if it doesn't have those aspects built in, it's then DeFi can't happen. And if you've been paying attention at all, RWAs and DeFi are going to be huge. We are just dipping our toe in the water of the potential of DeFi and RWAs. And this is what we called, picks and shovels. Just like during the gold rush. Most of the people that got rich during the gold rush weren't the people out there scratching around for gold. It was the people selling the picks and the shovels and the gold pans and the Levi's and all the stuff like that that people needed to go scratching around for gold. So if you can invest in the rails, if you can invest in the technology that is facilitating a lot of these things to happen, value to move, all of these sorts of things, data to move, that is where the smart money is. And that's why, when we were talking about earlier, Jeff was talking about how Microsoft was invested, Grayscale Trust is, launching
Grayscale.
a trust.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of institutional interest in this because they understand these things. Sorry, got on a little
Cardano's
bit.
pretty decentralized. No, Wispy. Cardano's pretty decentralized. No, and that's important because there we don't think about infrastructure a lot.
Mhm.
Back when worked at Tesla 10 years ago, people were like, "Oh, these Teslas, and we can drive it across the country and this and that." But yeah, but it's at that point there weren't enough charging stations around, and it was a little
Well,
bit harder. But
if you put some solar panels on it with some windmills, maybe you can charge while you drive.
yeah,
Infinite.
oh
It's
man,
an infinite power hack.
The
You
infinite
get
power hack. Only during the hours of 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
well, that's why you have the wind turbines so that you can drive at night.
Oh man, you're just you are the green renewable man.
Yes, yes, I'm well known as the environmentalist in small circles.
But yeah, like you said, investing in the rails, the stuff, the infrastructure, or even like literal investing in the rails, like the railroad company who makes the steel, the stuff to lay the tracks. What you got to have that foundation before anything else, before you even think about going forward. Like how can we make this easier for developers, and especially the way that the language models are. You have like Cosmos EVMs or Cosmos language developer kits, Polkadot software developer kits, and EVM and all kinds, Solana. You have all these different languages, but they don't always play nice together, and some don't even speak to each other. So finding these ways of laying this
You
foundation for easier access.
you might be able to answer this, but since it is written in SQL, or then wouldn't that, because I mean that's traditional coding. I mean, wouldn't that make it to where it would be a lot easier to bridge data from Web 2 to Web 3?
Oh, I'd like to talk to Rob about that. Actually, he would be one that would be able to probably give a little bit more insight into that, because I don't know exactly how like the databases work structurally. Um, the code and stuff. This is still kind of above my head the way the code works, but
Yeah.
I want to see actual visual representation other than these like kind of jargon, because my brother would be one to pick his brain on that and get
Yeah,
some
we actually need to
better
have him on
insight.
sometime because I know that he
Yeah,
does a bit of TA too. So,
not the TA that we like, but we'll take the second best TA.
well, he was telling me he did some trading. So,
Yeah, a little bit. We get into. I think he was messing around making his own indicator. So at one point, but yeah, and you can come on here. I did create an account. You can join with your wallet. You can log in with your wallet, or you can just create an email.
oh yeah,
One
is there going to be an
email.
airdrop?
I haven't seen anything for one. Crypto rank, because I know that this just came out, but you can go in here and experiment with their data sets and and stuff if you're a developer, but you have to have your email address before you can start messing around. I'm still kind of lost at like all this stuff. There's these indexing chains that you can look up, and yeah, I don't really know how this stuff works. Um, let's see. Where's it? Space and time.
Combine real world credit scores. All right. Oh,
Yeah, they
check
had
this.
a
So
they had a wait list form last
well, in
year.
decentralized lending, it says with space and time, you can combine real world credit scores with on chain transactions to create new Web3 credit scores for decentralized lending platforms. That's interesting.
Oh, huh. So it's kind of figuring out a new way of having like a credit
Credit
score
ratings.
on chain yeah,
Yeah.
credit ratings versus traditional financial means. Um, oh no, they had Discord roles, Galaxy tasks. Um,
So nothing airdrop.
no, and this is all on-chain stuff that you would have had to complete, but I haven't seen anything. It says distributed, but I haven't seen anything on their space and time airdrop. Let's check the old Twitters.
Oh yeah, no, okay. So I have found on their website, it does onboard Web 2 enterprise data. Connect your source databases to the blockchain, onboarding Web 2 enterprise data. So
Okay.
it does act as an onboarding for traditional, data sets, in my MySQL and SQL.
Fuck, even better. Hey, think about like medical information, the
Yeah.
data from medical pharmaceutical stuff. You want that secure. You don't want it to be transferred over, or you don't even have to transfer it over. I mean, like you said, this can integrate with Web 2. You can integrate it with your Web 2 database and have it just read from there. And it's secure. You know, somebody comes and says, "Hey, I want to find the medical information for, you." And but you don't want to reveal all of your medical information. You can say, "Hey, can you provide me a snapshot of this, or does it have this information?" And
Mhm.
because that's important. It's like you said, these little anytime you try and interface or get data from somewhere, there's going to be a gap, and people are going to try and exploit these gaps to sneak in and get the information through a back door. And it's very important, man. That the more I just learn about all the infrastructure stuff and just thinking about ways people exploit blockchains and exploit data. There's just so many layers, so many fucking
Well,
layers to this. It's I'm like,
this
wow, how do you think of this? And what the fuck?
yeah.
What?
Well, and a big one is AI. And so
Yeah.
I just was just reading this, and it says verifiable LLMs, language learning models, train large language models on provable databases, build transparent, tamper-proof, and provability neutral LLMs with proof of SQL. They Space and time guarantees the LLM was trained on an unbiased data set. The LLM parameters were configured neutrally and weren't tampered. And as the model updates over time, it's not being fine tuned or using manipulated data. So it would be a way to ensure, like whenever you've tried to use, some of the AI tools that are out there, and it's obviously biased. It will
Mm-hmm.
ensure that that's not the case. It will ensure that it is, accurate data. That if you ask a question, it's going to, it's not going to be, uh, because somebody that was maybe left leaning or right leaning, wrote the
Yeah.
code. It's not going to give you,
Mm-hmm.
skewed data, or skewed information, which is important because, more and more people believe whatever, if they type something in their computer and it gives them information, they treat that like gospel. So
Yeah.
it's going to be very, very important that, technology like this, especially, the rails and the things that verify the data, for AI and things like that, that they're unbiased and they ensure that the information is factual, that it's, it hasn't been, that there isn't some kind of propaganda, sewn into it.
Yeah, and that's really important to highlight too, is these who's training these
Mhm.
large language models, because you are going to have some bias. And if you can have something that can just that's all AI based, yeah, removing more of the human aspect or your human emotion. um Man, what was that, Chat GPT earlier this year or last year? when you asked it about something, it would give you these people of color as a certain hail somebody. You know, there were people of different colors that were in these
Yeah.
outfits, and I was like, what?
No, it was weird,
I
and
was-
it was kind of creepy that because it was blatantly obvious that
Mm,
that there was some
the fuck is
inaccuracies.
going on?
Some we'll just call it inaccuracies.
Accuracies. Yeah, and we don't want that. You know, we want stuff to come to us as unbiased as possible and verifiable too. Um, and Web3 infrastructure, more ways to use space and time,
Hmm.
order books, off chain compute, Internet of Things. So that's like, uh, oh, so the Internet of Things, that is these devices out in the real world, kind of like smart meters. And I saw somebody share a video that had a smart meter behind a stop sign in their
Oh,
neighborhood.
that's
And I was like, oh shit, man. Yeah. So they sending information to hotspots like Helium. I got Helium Mobile just last month, and it's been working pretty well. So it uses a lot of the Helium hotspots. So that's blockchain right there. Um, yeah, KYC data, social media, options trading too. I mean, options are one of the fastest moving
oh yeah.
things too. I mean, your
Well,
orders are going.
Taylor, this past Thursday, he was talking about during COVID that he put in like $10,000 in some
I
call
heard that.
options, and if he would have like
It
rode
made me
that out
sad.
and not cashed out, he would have turned that 10 grand into 3 million.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Oh,
no, call and put options, they you can make a lot of money in them if you do it right. I'm not, an expert on that. I'll stick to my DeFi, but yeah, I about choked a little bit when he told me that.
I'm in the same position as Jeff. It's like, damn, you know, he Taylor. He's just like, oh shit, I still made some money, but
Yeah,
whew,
yeah.
that's still a hard pill to swallow, man. But hey, you know, that's and this it keeps you. Well, I would say stuff like that will keep me hungry to keep fighting and trying to get to where I want to be, because it's like you can either let that discourage you and make you stop trying, like, oh, I could have turned this 10,000 into 3 million, but now I only have 20,000. I'm just
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, but you know, we're not here for that. We want to long term, you know, slow and steady. We'll win the race a lot faster than right now, you know, immediate, because you can burn it a lot faster than you get it. And practicing smart risk management.
Yes,
And
yes.
I want to know where these some of these DeFi pools that you were talking about for SXT.
Actually, what I'm doing right now is I'm doing some swapping. I figured I would, enter into a pool, here live. So, yeah,
Nice, nice.
if you wanna, oh, actually, hold on. Where'd be a better place to swap for this? You know what? That's not too much money. We'll do it.
Because I mean, like with Plume, you know, you're still the price isn't always reflective of the fundamentals and shit that they're building out, the partnerships, and I mean, this is, you know, you pick a nice little range. This could give me some Plume vibes really, really quick.
No, and that's kinda why I bought a little bit more, while we've been talking about it, and not a lot. I got a couple $100 worth, but like I said, if I can turn that couple $100 into a couple of grand, then, I will not be unhappy. If I can just get this to swap.
Yeah, and if people out there, me and Mike aren't heavy into day trading and stuff like
No.
that. That I might swing trade once in a while, but the DeFi has really been the way to go,
Yeah.
even in
For
down
me,
markets.
it has
Hmm.
been anyway.
And I'm really happy to see a lot of people in the community making some good moves, and in the Discord sharing the pools that they're in, making sure that we had the Bitcoin way, asking for help with some of the arrow lock flight school bonus stuff. We try and help out wherever we can. And oh,
What the hell?
are you swapping?
Oh no, I was just gonna. Let's see. There we go.
Because I don't see your screen on there.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go. Oh, here,
I'm
I'll take
being.
mine off.
You're fine. I'm just.
I didn't realize that this had just launched last month too.
All right, so we're gonna enter this. I decided to go with the USDT SXT pool. So actually, you know what? Let's go all the way back out, and I'll show you how to get here. So go to Explore. You can see I already typed in, space and time, or SXT, before, so it popped up. But if not, you just put SXT, the ticker. There it is, space and time. Clicked on it,
What network?
brings up what's up.
What network?
It's ETH.
On mainnet? Okay.
Yep, yep. Unfortunately, but so be it. All right. So once you come to this, come down to pools, and I'm looking for a USDT. Has good TVL. 558,000. We like to see more than 250. It only has 3.5% APR right now, but again, that's just because not a lot of people are talking about it. Not a lot of people are swapping for it. So let's go ahead and select that. We'll go in here. You can look at and see what's as far as fees, what's been generated. I'm going to add liquidity, USDT SXT, hit continue. Now, should I, in chat, tell me, should I go full range or should I do a custom range? Actually, you know what? Let's get spicy with this.
Ooh,
Let's
spicy.
actually we got time. Let me actually pull up
Let's see.
um let me pull up Deck Screener and we'll actually look at the chart.
Yeah, chart looks nice.
Well, I figured I can pick some ranges.
Ooh.
So we'll see if we can pick a nice range and maybe bump up that APR a little bit.
Yeah, and that's where the real alpha is, getting those ranges picked.
Yeah, and this is just a little tasty taste. I only did like just under $400 of liquidity is what I'm sticking in here. All right,
Dip a
so you
little
can
nug in there.
just a little nug, just a little nug. All right, so let's go over here and we're going to add liquidity and we're going to do a custom range. All right, so let's see. Let's do. So we're looking at 17 and 11. So let's go over here. Let's do this. There we go. All right. So this is the chart. So what I was just doing is I was actually flipping through because what you have to do is you see where it's over here, it says 17.88 and 11.26. Over here on Deck Screener, you want the same thing over on the sidebar. Because if you watch, if I switch this over to USD, it changes the chart.
Oh yeah.
And if I flip it, then it will change this too. If I make it SXT and USDT, it will change the numbers over here as well. So you want to make sure that the numbers over here match what you're doing over here, so that you pick the right range. So yeah, that's just a little trick there. All right. So I'm going to go to the 4 hour because I want to look at a longer time frame. So it looks like it's been climbing. I'm going to go with this right here. What do you think of that, Jeff?
Let's see. Which which prices? Because I got the chart pulled up, the 4 hour
So
actually.
I'm thinking 12, like 12.33. Actually, let's just do 12 flat. And it looks like we went up. Let's do 17. So 12 to 17. What do you think about that?
Ooh. Oh, my chart's different. I have wait, SXT USDT. How come mine's different? I have like
Remember,
6 cents.
well,
The
so go up here. I'll show you what to do. This will actually be a good learning. So go up
oh,
here.
mine's on trading view. That's why. Because it doesn't for
Oh,
some
okay.
reason. Yeah.
No, you're on Deck Screener. Oh no, that's me. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking 12 to 17 is a nice range. It's been in that range for a while now. So I'm gonna go with that.
Oh,
So we're
good.
gonna go
10.
over
Damn.
here.
2 weeks.
Oh, well, yeah, let's take a look
It's the
of actually how long. So it's been in that since 12 June. So yeah, about 2 weeks.
oh yeah. That's solid.
So yeah, so let's come over here, and we're gonna we I just got done adjusting it. Oh, hold on. I just got done adjusting it to 17 for my upper range, my resistance, and 12, just shy of 12 for my support. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. So I'm going to go max USDT. Nope. It's not going to let me do that. All right. So let's do this.
Sometimes you
This is
got to
why
do it finagling.
this is why I like using VFAT so much. All right. So there we go. So we're going to put $120 worth of USDT and $162.45 of SXT in here. So it's going to be about 270, 280, $281. So we're going to review, and everything looks good. We're going to create. Come on. It's thinking about it. And it cost me 63 cents in ETH.
Yeah, gas is pretty low right now, so that's good.
It's thinking an awful lot about it.
Ooh,
All right, let's
pools.
try this again.
Um,
What airdrops you been messing with lately?
um, the Bitcoin test nets and oh man, there's let me see. I had a few things this past week. Um, I've been preparing next week at work. My manager and one of our senior designers is going to be out, so there's just going to be two of us. So we've been preparing for that. So that'll be fun. Let me see, where's my... Oh yeah, there was a update with the Pharos testnet that we covered last month, I think. They have an OKX booster campaign, but and a couple of Bitcoin testnets that I've added.
Well, I
What
might
else?
have to do this later. It's like not wanting to go through,
No?
but
Mm.
just wanted to show how you can get into these. I mean, it doesn't go through. It's not a big deal. Like I said, I can keep messing with it, but we don't need to dwell on this.
Oh yeah, Sahara. So, well, first, one of the airdrops that there were a couple airdrops that I got, not with our channel because it was too late to start with these. But Sahara AI, we kind of building out, training these AI large language models. We did an episode on this a few months ago, and they had their airdrop come out, and right now it's worth like $20, I think. So not anything crazy. And another one, I started the Magic Newton one with our show email, but we didn't have enough to qualify for the airdrop. So, but other than that, we're still chugging along on testnet stuff, and yeah, daily interactions, man. It's a grind. Got 3 wallets that I'm fucking juggling right now, so it's a lot of fun. Hey man, but scare money don't make money.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I
Gotta
don't know
work
what's
hard.
going on. I even went in my wallet and made sure I was disconnected from Uniswap, and it still has the little I'm thinking about it, up in
Damn.
my wallet. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
Hopefully it's just the web browser. Sometimes
It
I'll close everything out and say fuck it.
Yeah, obviously we're live, so I can't close everything out. So
No.
um yeah,
Oh, what
it's
up, hippie? Uh,
let's see if I
yeah, man. Some of these airdrop stuff has been ruthless with the people on Twitter. It's there's been a lot of wild shit going on. Um, and this is why you really want to highlight projects like this, who, oh, maybe he refreshed, and he's back. Oh, your spin. Yeah, don't forget your spin. Did it reset your daily streak?
no, I think I'm disconnected. Hold on, let me since I can't get that pool to go through, we'll do this instead. Yeah, I'm on a 6 day streak right now.
Let's go diamond. Let's go diamond.
So I run into this sometimes where I have to disconnect and reconnect.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I think it's a bug.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to close out, all my browsers, maybe reboot my computer or something like that. Usually that,
Hmm.
frees up, a lot of my issues.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Oh.
so you got anything else you want to give out to the community, or?
Oh no. I mean, I was really interested. I'm glad you showed the how to get into that liquidity pool. Because I want to look into the rewards from that as well. Because that is giving me some Plume vibes. They are providing the infrastructure that you need to find the data available on the blockchain, and it's very important. Even though we don't really think about this stuff, it's just kind of under the hood, so to speak. You don't. Not a lot of people understand how the engine of a car works, but they're just like, okay, it's there, it works. It makes the car go vroom vroom and the tires go around. But
No,
we
absolutely.
desperately need some of the most important things fundamentally, and giving that safety, that good feeling, that nice warm fuzzies inside for institutions to onboard, and medical systems to have their data be on the blockchain. So we don't have to move everything off of Web 2. I mean, you really can't. It's just all going to have to commingle and integrate together peacefully, and finding ways like this to do that, that's frictionless, easy for developers. And yeah, it's just going to make also these liquidity pools getting more efficient too, which will provide more value or give you more value, because that's what the move from Uniswap v3 to v4, getting better
Well,
functionality in these liquidity
it's
pools. And
it's gonna allow liquidity to, move more efficiently, and so,
Mhm.
you're not gonna have I don't think that you'll have as many issues with liquidity being, uh, the majority being on any one chain. Instead of having to bridge and, do a lot of those, you know, time intensive and potentially,
Ooh.
gateways to, losing your liquidity, because there has been hacks on bridges and stuff like that. I feel like that, as this technology advances, that we'll be able to move liquidity, cross chain much more efficiently.
Oh, really quick on that. That inner liquidity, having the infrastructure for cross chain. I did want to touch on this because it is important with the traditional finance. Sunrise, which I've been covering quite a bit, they just announced a partnership with Sony Bank, which has been around since 2000, I believe, and they're really big in Japan, and they're launching a pilot for blockchain infrastructure for financial institutions. So Sunrise is building a layer one blockchain that has that inner liquidity model that you can just use their layer one to access liquidity from all chains. And this is going to be killer for financial institutions like Sony Bank, because think about what Coinbase is doing with the Base network. Coinbase allows you to take money from your bank and put it on Coinbase and then go to Base network really easy. So if you can go from your traditional finance bank, think of being in Japan, you're like, oh, I can move money from my Sony Bank account straight onto the blockchain with a project like Sunrise, layer one, inner liquidity, and then you can access any liquidity from any chain. So stuff like this is super important, like you were saying, with the accessing liquidity across any chain without having any friction, like with bridging and all that shit. So And this isn't just one project will dominate the whole space. You need a lot of players to kind of build this out in a robust manner, because the amount of people right now, they're having a hard time keeping up with certain blockchain data transactions and feeds. So just think of when you have billions of people using this, one project and one network isn't going to be able to support everything. So we need a robust ecosystem that has good builders, easy ways to build in the space, and it's really exciting to see the development happening. But that's all
Hey,
I got, man.
what up, DCA and Prey? Looks like DCA and Prey. He's testing it. It looks like he said, "My question isn't going through. There must be some word blocked or something." What are you saying bearish or something like that? We don't allow bearish talk.
No, is he in the? Can he send it
Yeah,
in the Discord?
no, he's in the chat. You don't see it,
No, I see the chat, but if the word's being blocked, can he send it in the ask it in the Discord? It
or
won't
just
block it there.
change the wording. I mean, I
Or
can
change
see
the
he's
word.
saying test, and I can see my question isn't going through.
You know what's funny? Some of the Discords will have certain keywords that aren't allowed, and if
Discord's
you
annoying as
take
shit.
if you take a snapshot or like a screenshot of what you said and then you paste it, it'll work. You can
Yeah.
like send it. It's just like stupid Discord, man. Yeah,
He
he'll
says,
ask
"Yeah,
in
I'll
the
ask
Discord.
in the Discord." All right, let's pull the Discord up.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
I want to. I always questions. So, anybody out there listening, if you got a question, now's the time to ask it. We're gonna wrap up. So, get your questions in the chat.
Dallas trying to ask in the pool. Oh, let me.
All right.
Trying to ask in the pool you just made. Where does it show the APR you just made?
Oh,
So
okay.
he's talking about the SXT pool.
Yeah, let's go there and we can show a little bit of that since I gotta reboot my computer to get this shit to work. Because yeah, it's here. I'll. Oh, you already brought it up.
SXT.
So here we go. Pools. Oh,
How
here.
come mine doesn't
Let me
show
share
up?
my.
Yeah, mine's not behaving. Mine's being a bad protocol.
All right. So there's USDT, and this is one thing that I am not a fan of on both Aerodrome and Uniswap is the APR is not accurate. Because like if you come over here to pool, you can look at my plume pools, and I have a full range pool and I have a range position, and both of them give the same APR, which I know that they're not the same APR. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's kind of annoying, but it says 3.52% APR, but again, it doesn't say if that's a full range or a range position, and if it's a range position, what range. Add liquidity, continue, and it really doesn't give an APR on it, for the full range. And then if you do a custom range, and you're adjusting it, it doesn't give, an APR. So
Hmm.
you just have to want to open a pool and just see what happens. I mean, it's unfortunately over on VFAT, for whatever reason, they're able to give, a lot more accurate APRs on that platform for pools that are on Uniswap and Aerodrome. So you would think with the size of Uniswap and Aerodrome that they could unfuck, their their freaking dashboard, and you would think that they could add the functionality that VFAT has, where you can just simply add liquidity. Or if I just have a bunch of USDT or USDC or Bitcoin or whatever, I can just add that liquidity and not have to come up with the two assets. Like when I'm trying to do this one, where I have to, guess on how much USDT and how much SXT I need to open up this position, because if I try to put in all the USDT, it wants $228 of SXT because, one side, the bottom end, I have wider than the top end. So basically, I would have to make the top end equal to.
You're becoming a mathematician at that point.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. It's just like, why can't you make it? Why can't Uniswap and Aerodrome make it to where you can just say, I have this much dollar amount, of a certain asset, auto swap it for me. Like
Hmm.
they can't, do that. Like I just find it hard to believe. So anyway, um, yeah, I mean, I don't know if we answered his question, but yeah, unfortunately on Uniswap, you just kind of gotta throw some liquidity in there, and I mean, it'll give you an overall idea on the APR, but it's not going to give you an exact APR. So unfortunately, that's just kind of. Oh, okay. Yeah, DCA and Prey was just wanting us to show that it's it doesn't show it. So yeah, most. I won't say most. A lot of the bigger protocols are like that. Um, so a lot of the newer ones, like Ambient and stuff like that, they're doing a lot better job, and in showing performance and things like that, historical performance of the pool, and giving some really good analytics. So anyway, if that's all
Yeah,
we
and a lot
got,
of these guys aren't. A lot of these guys aren't. They're developers first, and not necessarily like, oh, let me
DeFi
see.
guys,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, and that's where your everyone out there, submitting your feedback to some of these protocols or some of the teams. Say, hey, I've seen them take feedback and implement it. So, you know, go and fill out. I don't know, go in the discords or something, or reach out to them on Twitter, or make your voices heard if you see something that could be better or added functionality. Reach out, but
all right.
yeah,
So with that, I guess we'll wrap it up. So till next time, Veteran Crypto out.
peace.